furrow method of planting Super Napier, where we have dug a furrow that is 1 feet deep and 1 feet wide. And the spacing from one furrow to the other one is 1 meter. Here we are at the farm site in Warohi in Dongori, where we want to plant Super Napier, Pakchong grass, and we are using organic manure to fertilize the soil. And now we are mixing the soil, and we are using well decomposed manure. So well decomposed manure is because it will not damage the cuttings before they start rooting. So we are mixing the manure with the soil in the ratio of 1:1. So currently now we are mixing the manure and the soil so that it is thoroughly well mixed up. And that is before we put into the holes and the furrows. Because inside the furrow you may not be able to mix well, so we mix it outside the furrow. We continue to mix the soil and the manure. Yeah, so the mix will help to support the growth and support the proper shooting of the cuttings. We have noted that when you use organic manure and you put a good quantity of it, the cuttings are able to shoot with many shoots, unlike when you don't have proper sufficient of manure. So when it is thoroughly mixed, then we are going to put back to the furrows. The furrows are spaced at the spacing of 1 meter from one to the other one, 1 feet wide and 1 feet deep. And they are spaced from one furrow to the other one. They are spaced with a spacing of 1 meter apart, and the same with this other one. So every inter arrows we have is 1 meter. So and also 1 feet deep. Ready to plant now the Super Napier. Will not fill up to the brim. It's halfway. It's about half a feet now. We have filled up the mixture of soil and manure halfway. We had dug a furrow of 1 feet, so we are doing the mixture half a feet deep. So 1 feet is not filled up. We are done with the mixing of the soil and manure. It's now uniform, and now we are ready to plant the cutting of Super Napier Pakchong grass. And we plant a 2-node cutting. So this cutting has 2 nodes, one, and this is the second one. So how you plant it slanting to the ground, 45 degrees. And 1 node will go below the soil, 1 remain above the soil. And now we plant. Now we put it 45 degrees to the ground. You press it down, and then 1 node will go below the soil, 1 remains above the soil. And our cutting is now ready now to be given time to germinate. From one cutting to the other one, we recommend the spacing of 3 feet. So we are going to plant the second cutting 3 feet from the first one. So this is the 3 feet, and then you put it at the angle of 45 degrees to the ground. You press it down, and now 1 node is under the soil, 1 has remained at the top of the soil, above the soil. We put it in a slanting angle of 45 degrees to the ground, so that when it rains, the water will not damage at the top, the cutting from the top. At the same time, you give a chance for these to shoot and this one to shoot and give you leaves. So that's why we choose to have a 45 degrees angle to the ground. We are done with the planting of the first furrow. And now the cuttings are ready to germinate. The only thing that we need to do is to water the soil, so that now the cuttings will have moisture to be able to start germinating. And the cutting requires moisture to be able to start germinating. So the lower node will produce roots, and the upper node will produce leaves. So once it's watered well, now our cutting is ready to develop into a plant that will grow now into Super Napier Pakchong grass.